All right. I am back here. I was out last week, but we back this week. This is Revolution Week. It's a big week. I done said week 3 times. Um, Most importantly, it is the week of Sting. We are here to celebrate Sting today. Why people, giving them time to come in and stuff like that, because I was deeply missed. I see last week people was expecting a show last week, and I was like, there is no show. No show happened last week, so I'm here this week. And before we get into some wrestling, I didn't know it was a lot of Scott fans out there. I didn't know that y'all liked him like that. But hey, I said what I said on Twitter. I meant it. If you don't know on Twitter, because I've been rewatching X-Men because X-Men 97 is coming out next month. And I had to rewatch it to refresh my memory from my childhood because I used to watch it every Saturday morning when I was a kid. So I was rewatching it. And I made a tweet that said, I remember why Scott used to irritate me. And now that I'm an adult, I was like, he acted just like a cop. He was a cop to me. Like that was what irritated me, like a true Boy Scout. A true and I said on Twitter, he would say Blue Lives Matter. But when I said that, people started calling me ignorant. I don't read the comics and stuff. Like I pissed comic Twitter off. And I wasn't even talking about the comics. I was talking about the X-Men that I was looking at from my childhood. I wasn't even talking about the comics. I was talking about the animation. Y'all gotta excuse me. I gotta cough. But yeah, so sorry, Scott fans out there. I deeply apologize, but I'm not taking back what I said because he was annoying. He was he act like I just can't. I hate self-righteous people. When I hate them, but self-righteous people just irritate me because they act like they never done a bad thing ever in their life. And that's not how humans work. We're not perfect. We're flawed. And he always act like certain people, you know, are not supposed to be flawed in order for them to join X-Men. Some people have a past before they join X-Men. Most of them had a past before they joined X-Men, and he just kind of used to irritate me. That's all. Um, Please excuse me today for this episode. I am still a little bit under the weather. It is allergy season. My allergies is kind of messing with me. So if you hear me cough a little bit, I got my drink right here. I might mute myself a little bit. But yeah, so excuse my voice today. I probably sound like a man. I already have like a deeper voice, but if I sound like Barry White right now, it's because my allergies. So y'all gotta excuse me now if I start coughing because again, sinus season. So I was watching it for the reason. Yeah, like I've always been an X-Men fan. Like I watched it when I was a kid, so I had to kind of refresh my memory because they doing that same timeline. But when I was watching, I'm just like, he is pissing me off. Now I remember why I didn't like him. Because when I was a kid, and still, because Wolverine is my number one, and then my number 2 is Gambit. So it was those two for me. And of course, my number 3 is Storm. I love Storm. And then Rogue. And then who's my number 5? Who is my number 5? I'm trying to think off the bat. Magneto. Those are my 5. But yeah, but Scott used to just irritate me. He irritates me. But great leader though. But you need a Boy Scout type person to be a leader. He is a great leader. I will not take his leadership from him because he is a great leader. You need somebody that act like that they never done shit. You need somebody like that to keep things afloat, especially when you're a team. Like him and Captain America is one of the same. Like It's annoying, but they make sure the foundation is there. As flawed as their, they arrogance can be, they make sure everything is together. That's what comes with leadership. And not everybody's gonna like the leader. Me, I'm one of those. And I'm a leader at my own job, so I get it. He calls out Wolverine like, "How about we try working together like we should be doing?" Like, bro, don't tell other. Yeah, like in that one episode with Sabretooth, because they was the police was trying to get Sabretooth, and he was like, "We have to stop them before they kill him." And Wolverine was just like, "Good. It's Sabretooth. He needs to die." And Scott looking at Wolverine like, "No, that's not the X-Men way." It's just stuff like that just irritate me. Like, no, it's Sabretooth. Let them do what they gotta do. You can't. He was one of those, like, he sees both perspectives. Like, you can't do that. Like, right is right, wrong is wrong, but you can't be like the man in the middle. Like, I understand both views. No. Mm-mm. You got to choose a side sometimes. That's it. But yeah, that was my little bone to pick this week. And then I also, this weekend, I stayed up. Well, I didn't stay up, but I woke up with the WWE fans around 4 in the morning to watch Elimination Chamber, and like seeing them for the first time, having to get up to watch that, it was just so funny because I was like, I only do that occasionally with Wrestle Kingdom, but I don't do it all the time. Like, I know people that are New Japan fans that listen to this show that's supportive of me, and people that I do listen to when I don't get to watch New Japan. They do it all the time, and I don't see how they do it. But hey, respect to the overseas fans that make sure that they tune in to WWE or AEW. Probably TNA. I want to say NWA, whatever. Shout out to y'all. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah, so we about to get into some wrestling. Like I said earlier, before the comments came, we gonna celebrate Sting today. Of course, we're gonna get into some Dynamite, Collision, Rampage. I'm gonna update y'all on what's going on ROH, Women Business, and the Man of the Hour. We need to celebrate Sting. This is his last week in wrestling as a full-time wrestler. He gave us 40 years, which we will get into later on the episode. Okay, so let's start off with Dynamite and Collision. Now, this week I wasn't really feeling it with the graphics. I know y'all used to me having side by side with the different matches, but today I'm just like, y'all, this is what I got right now because I wasn't feeling it. So, but it's still gonna be the same thing that I've been doing. But yeah, I was trying a little bit lazy this time, but it just charged my mind and not my heart. Okay. All right, so Dynamite Collision openers. The opening for Dynamite, you had BCC versus FTR, and then on Collision it was Powerhouse Hobbs versus Sammy Guevara. Both great openers. I got a bone to pick with FTR though. They always have to have a 20-minute match. I don't know why, but they always have to have a 20-minute match. They are like the only wrestlers. Oh my God, is that Top Dollar? Hey, Top Dollar, how are you? I'm a. He done made me cough. Not contagiously. Don't no shade, okay? But yeah, I got a bone to pick with FCR. They always have to have a 20-minute match. I don't know why. I don't know why they get that favorite to have a 20-minute match, but I knew it was gonna be a 20-minute match. But overall, it was still a great technical brawl match. It was a spot in that match. Moxley almost gave the man CTE. I don't know what that I don't know what that move was called. I'm gonna call it CTE, whatever the fuck. But he ended up giving, I don't know. It was funny. It was funny to me. Um, of course, it was a draw. Don't start. Don't drip. Not today. Not right now. Don't start. It was a draw. And then after the draw, it ended up being in a brawl. Different people had to come out to break it up. It got real violent. But overall, it was a good match between the two. I want to say, now, I'm not a big, y'all know how I feel about FTR, but I cannot deny Cash Wheeler, because Cash Wheeler is underratedly really good in the ring. I know people favor Dax a lot in the ring, but Cash Wheeler is really good in the ring too, especially his chemistry that he had with Moxley, and as well as Claudio, especially Claudio. I love their exchanges. It was very like shoe style. It was very like strong style. I enjoyed it a lot. Okay, so great match. Like it seemed they could have interfered 10 minutes. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like FTR has to have 20 minutes. They do it in Collision. They do it in Dynamite. They've been doing it since they got there. And I'm just like, why does FTR always have to have 20-minute matches? Maybe they want to be known as a tag team to the last 20 minutes. Like when I seen them when they was out here in Dallas for the ROH the first time, when they faced against the Briscoes. 20-minute match. But it was good. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad 20-minute match, but it's just always 20 minutes with them. Like they have to have 20 minutes. Maybe it's part of their contract or something. I don't know. But overall, it was a good match. Can't deny it. Again, if you're just coming in, y'all, my voice is allergy season. It's sinus, so I probably sound like Barry White. I'm from Texas. They already know us Texas girls, we got deep voices, so my voice is even deeper right now. Very smooth, you know what I'm saying? So we have that Sammy Guevara and Powerhouse Hobbs match on Collision. Again, another great opener for Collision. Powerhouse Hobbs, he had to do what he had to do. Big Black and Jax was in full effect. Now, I've given Sammy Guevara a hard time because, like I said, sometimes he wrestles very sloppy. Sometimes he runs 1,000 miles. Like I always say, when he wrestles, it's like he wrestles for himself. This time, I saw a little bit of difference, and he's enjoyable when he's not talking. Now, that's no shade either. Okay, I like just wrestle. He's one of those, when they said just what they told LeBron. Just dribble, shut up and dribble, shut up and wrestle. And I like it that way. Sammy Guevara, when he shuts up and wrestle, better. Don't give him a mic no more. Like, have somebody to talk for him or something. And it don't have to be Jericho. It could be somebody else. But I like when he just wrestled. It was very brutal between the two. Great call. Powerhouse Hobbs ended up taking a win. The spine buster that he did through the table, a great spot. There was a lot of great spots in that match, and it was a great call. Powerhouse Hobbs needed that win. Great win for him, and he is part of the Revolution card of the big Meat Madness that's coming up this Sunday against Lance Archer and also our boy Wardlow. So great openers for the two for Dynamite and Collision. So let's move on to the next card. It was Mike Bennett versus Orange Cassidy, and then again on Collision, it was FTR versus Shane Taylor Promotions. Mike Bennett versus Orange Cassidy. It was one of those matches that wasn't needed, but it was needed for Orange Cassidy's character, because if you realize Orange Cassidy, he tells his story in ring. And this match, I saw a little bit of difference with Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy is becoming a little bit egotistic if you're not paying attention as far as his in-ring. From last year, when people told Orange Cassidy who he was facing, he was either oblivious to it or he kind of didn't want to do it. But this time he's all like, I don't care who I wrestle, I just want to wrestle. You're seeing a shift in Orange Cassidy's character. Is becoming nonchalant to consumed the gold is kind of consuming him a little bit. You start not saying a heel turn, but you're seeing something a little bit different. And you see it in his match. He's becoming aggressive. Aggressive, and not in a I'm fighting for my life way, but aggressive like I want to hurt you. And we haven't seen this side of Orange Cassidy, so it's a little bit interesting of where it goes even after Revolution. Again, this match didn't need to happen, but I get why it happened. Excuse me. So I'm not going to be too much on that because it was one of those matches that people were, again, was into because it's Orange Cassidy. But if you didn't pay too much attention to that match because it was against Mike Bennett, that's what I got out of that match. Is it's in a sense turning Orange Cassidy into something. And I said egotistic because he's not confident, but it's just more like I could take you and things like that. We haven't seen this side of Orange Cassidy. So it's his character. It's like a character development. This match was a character development. This match is part of Orange Cassidy's story. Okay. So not too much on that. FTR versus Shane Taylor Promotions. This match in particular, like I said on Twitter, this match, Shane Taylor stood out the most in this match. He was the aggressor. His strikes was amazing. I enjoy seeing Shane Taylor wrestle. He's a great wrestler. I've always, when he came out here in Texas, for I can't think of one of the indies name out here in Dallas, and he faced Brian Keith, and it was a cage match. I went with Mika. Great match. Like I enjoy seeing Shane Taylor. I wouldn't mind, because I know they're getting ready to build Shane Taylor's promotions. So whoever, you know what I'm saying, they put in, it has to fit him because he's phenomenal. Yeah, VIP wrestling. Thank you. Why wasn't this on the episode? What did you? Don't make me laugh. Y'all gonna make me cough. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. You asked me to be on a different episode. You ain't saying nothing about this one. You ain't saying nothing about this one. Okay, so yes, Shane Taylor was outstanding in this match. And of course, FTR ends up winning. But this match was 20 minutes. I think it was 20 minutes too. But it wasn't a draw. FTR ended up winning. Don't get Drip started on his agenda with that match. So let me move on. It's warm out here, y'all. So y'all know my sinus my allergies. It is crazy. Moving on, it was Bang Bang Scissor Gang versus Iron Savages. Now this was a match that was on Collision. Max Caster, it's time to wrap it up with the rapping. He choked in front of the community. He choked in front of it's time to kind of wrap it up now. He doesn't have to do the rap gimmick anymore. Or, I mean, if he does, he can do it so often, but he doesn't have to do it every time. I think that was a sign from God, honestly. Just wrap it up. But overall, entertaining match. It was very entertaining between Bang Bang Scissor Gang and also Iron Savages. Jay White is planting seeds, you guys. I know people don't like this Jay White and the Bullet Club part of, the Acclaimed, but it's a story, okay? It's a story, and y'all gonna get what y'all want eventually. Y'all gonna get what y'all want, but as you can see, Jay White he's plotting. It's plotting. So just be patient. Everybody gonna be happy, and just trust the process. I don't see why everybody bitching. You shouldn't be. Y'all gonna get that Ruthless Jay White that you're used to. Just let him have fun and let it happen. Okay. Shoot. Oh Lord. Okay, so Iron Savages, I want them on Collision. Iron Savages make a great addition on Collision, you guys. I enjoyed them when they did the over the top rope and he overreacted over the top rope spot. It was hilarious to me. But you can also catch them on Ring of Honor. I do enjoy them when they're on Ring of Honor. Very entertaining trios, and I like them. Okay. Next up on Dynamite. Now on Dynamite, Daniel Garcia had a promo, and as you don't know, Daniel Garcia is going to be facing Christian Cage for the TNT title at Revolution. And Daniel Garcia just basically letting it be known that he's going to be the next TNT champion and it's his time and things like that. And Christian Cage comes out, insults his mom and also his late father. You know, Christian don't care about nobody's father. He gonna make fun of the dead and things like that. So that was that. That should be a great match between Daniel Garcia and Christian Cage. I feel like Christian will put over Daniel Garcia. Maybe Daniel Garcia becomes our new TNT champion, and it goes on from there because it's still a story between Edge and also Christian. But I think I don't want to say, but I feel like maybe this is how Edge becomes TNT champion. He's probably, I don't know. I feel like he will end up winning it against Daniel Garcia. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's it, y'all. I don't know. I'm a Christian fan. He's a great, yes, he is. He's a great father figure. And shout out to Mama Nick Wayne. She looked amazing. She looks very amazing. All right, so moving on for to Collision, it was Brian Keith versus Malachi Black. Malachi Black. Now this match to me, now Brian Keith, he did amazing. He always going to do amazing. He's a great wrestler. That's why he got signed. But Malachi Black, if I don't know if he wants to be there. I don't know. It's like he wrestled, like he preserved himself, or he has an attitude. It wasn't giving Malachi Black that I'm used to seeing. Now, I'm not saying that he was one of my favorites, but I knew that he was a good wrestler. But it wasn't there for me with him. His energy was off. But Brian Keith was delivering. He did a great job. Certain spots like the suplex and everything was cool. But it wasn't given what it was supposed to, in my opinion. And it was more on Malachi Black than it was on Brian Keith. So I don't know. I have no idea what was going on. But then after that match, the lights went black, and then Mark Briscoe, he comes out and attack with the kendo stick to the House of Black, Malachi Black, and also Brody King, and also the third one, Rhea Ripley's man. I don't know why his name is not coming to me right now. But that's what happened on Collision. I was at the show when Keith was giving the grade. I saw it live on the television like everybody. I was very happy. I thought it was gonna happen in Houston, but it didn't happen in Houston. So yeah, Buddy Matthews, thank you. It was Buddy Matthews. Thank y'all, Buddy Matthews, because it was not coming to me. And then also for the main event, Dynamite and Collision, it was Joe Swerve and Cage versus Hangman, RVD, and Hook. And then also on Collision's main event, it was Akiyama versus Bryan Danielson. The main event for Dynamite, the trios, great. It was a lot of things that was going on. Just in case if you didn't pick up, now Hangman was still focusing on Swerve. Like for him to be going for the championship, he's going real mad. Hey, Lyric, he got real mad. He's going mad. Like, not he's going heelish, but he's definitely becoming real obsessed with Swerve. So his attention was on Swerve. Hook his attention was on Brian Cage, and RVD is just there. He's just having a good time. Samoa Joe's irritation is building. He's becoming real irritated, as you can see, because they want the championship, but they so focused on fighting each other. So that's a great addition to the story that's going on. Now Hangman, he scared the community because we thought he got hurt because he did the ankle spot. He was supposed to do it. He did a counter to Samoa Joe's, one of Samoa Joe's finisher, and then he fell on his ankle and kind of rolled on his ankle. And we just thought that it was out. Like, we was all on Twitter outraged, like, okay, this cannot happen. This cannot happen at the worst times. Dave Meltzer is like 0 for 10 right now on giving up topics and updates on what's going on in AEW. He was saying that he told us that Adam Page got hurt and things like that. And we just lost our mind just for it to end up being like one of those Bryan Danielson type of ankle injuries to add on to a story. It was crazy. Yeah, Rob Van Dam was still delivering as he should. He was just there. He was just there to have a good time, but he definitely did great. His great signature spots in the match as well. So great fun match. It kind of wasn't needed, but also it made it, because Dynamite Wednesday, I'm gonna tell y'all, it was more of a filler than anything. It wasn't the best Dynamite, but it wasn't the worst. And it was one of those fillers. It was either adding on to what's going on for Revolution and also helping building stories. It was a lot of promos. You know, people complain that AEW don't do promos, and when they do, then people complain like, dang, this Dynamite's bad. And it's just like, that's what we've been trying to tell y'all. They can't stop trying to give them to do more the entertainment route, because that's not them. Let them tell stories how they tell stories. Let them be them. That's what we're trying to tell everybody. And then on Collision main event, like I said, it was like Akiyama. If I'm saying it wrong, excuse me. Y'all know my accent. Akiyama versus Danielson. Eddie Kingston was out there because he was commentating, and Akiyama is his hero. Bryan Danielson had to make an example out of his hero. It was a good match between the two. Like, Danielson is enjoying get to face some of the people that he, fantasy booked of always want the match or always want the wrestle against, whether if it's in New Japan or in CML. But it was a great technical match between, like, a technical brawl, I'll say, technical brawl submission match. And I wasn't familiar with Akiyama until, I asked Twitter, can y'all, send me some matches so I can watch? And I really love how he plays mind games. He's a psychology. I call him a psychology wrestler. They really play with your mind in the ring, and that's what he did. Now, I know he probably did a lot more in his youth, but he did it a little bit still against Bryan Danielson. And then Bryan Danielson ended up getting the upper hand in the match. And, of course, he ends up winning the match. And then after the match, he slapped him. And then Danielson ended up giving him, like, the kick below the belt. And then Eddie Kingston just came in. And they just started attacking one another. But overall, I did enjoy what I see. Like I said, I wasn't familiar with Akiyama coming in. Well, a little bit. I had to watch the clips that people was referring me to so I can look at. And I liked what I see. Because y'all know I love in-ring. I'm an in-ring person. So if you can go in the ring, I don't care about the promo things. Like the promos is a good give and take. But if you're a good in-ring wrestler, you got me sold. You got me. So I like what I see. I like that addition to Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston, whenever you're done with wrestling, I wouldn't mind hearing Eddie Kingston go into podcasting because you can tell that Eddie Kingston is a real fan of technical wrestling. And also, I would add he should definitely be a wrestling historian because he was given a lot of historical key points to Akiyama. Just it's kind of like he saw what the audience was saying, like on social media, so he was just kind of educating. He's a good educator. Now he's aggressive with it, but whenever he retired, he should consider being a wrestling historian. We need our wrestling historians. Because we're in a time where people are revisionizing wrestling history, and it has to stop. So Eddie Kingston, if you're ever listening to All Elite with Keeks, you should be a wrestling historian. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Let me take a sip of this before we get to the next topic. Hold on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right, so let's get into Rampage. I'm just skim through Rampage for y'all. Rampage been having some bangers as of lately since they, made sure some of the main stars are on Rampage and delivering. Rampage just started off with the three-way trios match. The Water Merchant, Action Andrade, and also Top Flight versus Bounty Hunter, Brian Keith, Penta, and Commander, and also Private Party and Matt Sadal. Fun triple style match. The stunts was going crazy. Penta was going crazy. I love Commander's gear. I love that pink. I loved it. Private Party is doing better. They're getting into the groove of things. You saw Private Party and also Top Flight was having a little bit more of an encounter. Like I keep saying on this show, they trying to build Top Flight and Private Party to be this rival tag team because you always have to have that rival tag team in wrestling. And that's what they're building these younger guys to be. That's why they keep getting involved in matches against each other. So they're building those two. It's just, we got to get Mark Quinn back to how he used to be. Mark Quinn just got to be in ring more, and that's what they're doing so they could get this party started. You know what I'm saying? But Penta, Commander, and Brian Key took the win. And that's to let everybody know that AE Lucha still comes first. I know we got the CMLL guys, but the AE Lucha still come first. So it's just, just reassuring their spot. Like, we still consider AE Lucha our Lucha, okay? Moving on, the AEW EVPs, the Bucks versus Johnny Lyons and Cappuccino Jones. I not like that name. Local talent out there in the area. I like that name, Cappuccino Jones. It just has a ring to it, Cappuccino Jones. But the EVPs, they took the win, and then after that, they cut a promo against towards Sting and also Darby Allin because we know that they facing them at Revolution. And the funny thing about that promo, he was saying to Tony Schiavone, we could give y'all Amazon card in there, and everybody peeped that shade. We peeped that shade. If you ain't peeped the shade, I don't know what to tell you, Punk fans. Sorry. I didn't mean to make fun of him. That's why I started coughing. And then after that, it was a promo exchange with Sammy Guevara and Don Callis. Again, I'd rather Sammy Guevara not talk at all, okay? Or Don Callis for that matter. Like, this didn't have to happen, honestly. It didn't have to happen, but I get why it happened because it led to the match at Collision, okay? So not too much on that. And then the main event was Roderick Strong versus Jack Hager. Roger Strong, he ends up taking the win. Jack Hager, the hometown, that's why he main event because that was his hometown that they was at. Orange Cassidy was out there ringside. He ended up like I said, he's becoming very aggressive, and he was aggressive against um, the boys. Y'all help me out, y'all, because I'm the kingdom, the kingdom. There you go. There you go. So that was Rampage. And then let's get on to ROH. A lot of things happen to ROH. Make sure y'all are subscribed to ROH. Pay that $9.99. Now they be taking out that $9.99 like they Apple now, like they iCloud, like they I didn't appreciate them taking that $9.99 out of my account like that. I didn't get no warning, no heads up, no nothing. They just took it out. I could have needed that for gas or something like that. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to ROH Wrestling, the episode 52. Episode 52, Taya Valkyrie, she beat Sussy Love. It was the first round of the ROH Women's TV tournament. Lee Johnson, he defeats Sanico. Another match for the tournament. It was Red Velvet versus Sandra Moore. She ends up defeating her. Danhausen, he fought Brandon Cutler. Um, Ethan Page. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped one. Another match to the tournament. Abandon versus Viva Van, and they defended her. Ethan Page defeated Anthony Henry, and then it was a men's 4-corner survival match. Commander defeats AR Fox, Exodus Prime, and Matt Sadal. And then also the main event, which was the ROH Women's Championship. It was a 2 out of the 3 falls. Athena versus Nyla Rose, and she defeats Nyla Rose. Athena is still showing her dominance. It's still the face of ROH. So that was a great match. I definitely recommend everybody to watch the main event and also watch the ROH Women's TV tournament. Great tournament so far between the ladies. Make sure y'all, support ROH Women's business. Kyle Fletcher has a visa issue, so he wasn't booked for ROH. So hopefully momentarily he will come back. But you know how them visa issues go. It's like one of them things AEW have a bad curse with is with them visas for the foreigner wrestlers that they have over there. So when you get a chance, just make sure you support ROH Women Business. And also pay attention to Lee Johnson, his development as an in-ring wrestler. Lee Johnson is definitely, I can see him. I definitely can see Lee Johnson being recruited for Shane Taylor Promotions. I wouldn't be surprised if Shane Taylor added Lee Johnson to the faction. But yeah, that's probably what he needs best. But definitely pay attention to Lee Johnson. Billy Starks, she defeated Robin Renegade. I forgot to mention that. But also pay attention to Billy Starks. It looks like it's setting up that she's going to, sorry, that she's going to leave Athena. Okay, so that seed is being planted as well. So make sure you support ROH. Speaking of ROH Women Business, we're going to get into AEW's Women Business.
This is what you need to do. You need to stay out of women business.
Now, it was a lot. And I was proud when I was taking my notes for AEW Women's Business. Because this was the first time in a long time that my notes for AEW Women's Business was long. And I'm proud of that. I was very happy of that. AEW Women's Division is on a good start. On Dynamite, you had Ruby Soho and Angelo Parker. They had a date night. You know, you're seeing different elements added to the AEW Women's Division as far as like stories and things to get interested to. So they had a date night, and he had a Lyft driver. She thought that they was about to get in the Suburban, and he was like, "No, I ain't doing that, but we gonna get in this Lyft though." And they don't lift on out of there. And then you had Toni Storm was in action versus the indie talent. I couldn't get her name. I was trying to search for it, so excuse that. Toni Storm, she ends up defeating the talent that she went against using Deonna Purrazzo's signature, the Venus de Milo, to end up picking the win. And then while she's celebrating and things like that, Deonna Purrazzo comes out and it did the whole black and white and also the color, the screen thing. That was very cool, very, good element to it because Deonna Purrazzo ended up having a match um, after Tony Storm. And she had a match with Madison Rain. Madison Rain is one of the coaches at AEW. Now that match was iffy. It was a bad botch spot that happened. Madison Rain ends up on her head. She's okay and things like that. I've always been hot and cold with Madison Rain because it's like some days she's there, some days she's not. When especially when she was in TNA, so I've always been a little, but she's a veteran, so she made a decent impact back there with the ladies and things like that. But overall, it was a decent match, and we got Deonna Purrazzo versus Tony Storm at Revolution. So that was Dynamite. Collision. We had Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, and Malcolm Stokely. And Chris Statlander, she's addressing Sky Blue, letting Sky Blue know, hey, you say fighting words, we can fight. They look lovely, by the way. Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale, they always looked amazing together. They look so amazing. I like that attire. Chris Statlander is so pretty. Willow Nightingale is very pretty. Shout out to the pretty girls. Also, Thunder Rosa was in action. She faced Lady Bird Monroe. Lady Bird Monroe, she did her little thing. She did her 1-2. She did her 1-2. Thunder Rosa. Now, Thunder Rosa was wrestling, and I said it on Twitter. Thunder Rosa was wrestling like La Batiste Del Ring trained her or something. But, and then she ended the match doing Los Ignobles signature. She put the fist up. She may be an addition to the Rouge faction. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they are cool. They are cool. And she was a CMLL, peeping the scene and stuff like this. So we'll see. But she was definitely wrestling aggressive. Thunder Rosa have always had a little aggression to her, but this one was very, very spicy now. But I liked it. Willow's beautiful. He is. I think that's part of it. I think that's part of it. So I wouldn't be surprised. She did the whole salute and everything. Serena Deeb was also in action. She was supposed to face Kiera Hogan, but Kiera Hogan was out sick. She had the flu. Get well soon, Miss Kiera Hogan. Hopefully we'll see you back. Speedy recovery. The flu is nothing to play with. Since COVID happened, the flu has been coming in all seasons, not just during flu seasons, but it's been coming in the spring, in the summer, things like that. So get well soon. I'm glad it's not COVID. But yeah, she's out with the flu, so they replaced her with Lady Frost. Lady Frost just came back from CMLL because she had a match out there, and they showed that footage. I'm glad they showed that little recap for Lady Frost. She faced Serena Deeb, another great match. I do enjoy seeing Lady Frost in the ring. Serena Deeb, a woman of 1,000 hoes. That lady there is a technician. Okay, she is a technician, and she picked up the win against Lady Frost. And she did a promo. She cut an interesting promo after that match. She was throwing some strays. She threw a stray at Tony Storm. She threw a stray at Chris Statlander a little bit. And I feel like she may have threw a stray at Mercedes Monet. Could be. I might be speculating, but it kind of sound like she was kind of coming at her too. So we'll see. But that'll be the perfect first opponent for Mercedes Monet because again, Serena Deeb is a technician. She's a great wrestler. She's phenomenal. So she could get aggressive with you. She will have you folded up, or she'll beat out of you. One or the other, your choice. So that was very interesting. And also, oh no, I didn't. Okay, so that was Collision, and so we're gonna move on to Rampage. And on Rampage, it was a lot of women business going on too. Renee had she had a backstage interview with Soraya and also Harley Cameron, and Soraya just letting it be known that she don't care about Ruby Soho and things like that. And then she introduced her brother. Um, her brother is with AEW or whatever, and I feel like it's leading to a mixed tag match between them, her and her brother, and which is her brother is Zodiac Zack Knight, if you don't know. And I feel like it will be a mixed tag between Soraya and Zodiac versus Ruby Soho and Angelo, because Ruby Soho, they came back from their date and she was letting it be known that she got something real and things like that. She was just saying she needed a break. She's saying, she wasn't talking mess, but now you got the Bulls. So that's an interesting story in the AEW's women business between Soraya and Ruby Soho. If you're into stories or entertaining stories, you should be into this one. And also, Sky Blue cut a promo with Julia Hart. She was saying she was going to beat either one, whoever wants to fight. And then we know that Chris Statlander answered on Collision, which I had said earlier. So it will probably lead up to another Chris Statlander and Sky Blue match. And we had Mariah May versus Anna Jay. And like I said on the timeline, I really do respect Anna Jay, because Anna Jay, she wants to work. She's trying. She wants to get better, and you can see her getting better. You can really see Anna Jay, like, because certain bumps that she takes and certain moves that she does is getting cleaner. Like, and I respect anybody that wants to get better. Like, you have some people that just want to wrestle and they know that they're not good, and then they'll just be like, well, whatever, it's just this. But you can really see in Anna Jay the way her attitude is in the ring, that she really wants to get better. She sees the other girls, they doing that thing, and that makes you want to do that makes you want to get better. I say it all the time. Like, I know Lyric on here in the chat, and I tell it to her all the time. When I see her do her thing, it makes me want to step up. That's how it's supposed to go. It shouldn't be no jealousy or nothing. You don't see that from Anna Jay. You see, okay, Sky Blue doing her thing. Okay, I need to do my thing. Chris Statlander do her thing. Okay, I need to do my thing. Like, you can see that from Anna Jay. So that's why I don't get mad when Anna Jay is booked with certain people, because I'm like, Anna Jay wants to get better. She definitely wants to get it better. Like, she has the look, she has the gear, she has everything. Some of the stuff that she does in the ring, it can get better, and you can see that it is getting better. Some people, it takes longer than others. Me personally, I feel like if she does an excursion, probably for a month. But then again, Serena Deeb said that she looking for people that want to step in the dojo. And I was like, Anna Jay, there you go. Anna Jay will be perfect, because Anna Jay is hungry. She wants to get better. Some people, it just takes a different type of motivation for them to get better. And you can see Anna Jay is trying to get better. Like, she's not trying to, and on no selfish or on no carelessness. You can legitimately see that she wants to get better. So she wrestled against Mariah May. I'm not Mary. I'm sorry, Mariah May. And it was a decent match. It wasn't the best, but it was decent. It was decent for what it was. Mariah May, she's cooling off from the Stardom run, because Stardom has a hard schedule. They wrestle all the time, and she's just easing on up. She just loosened up, and and Anna Jay looked good against her. She didn't look bad against her. And Mariah May, it didn't take away from Mariah May at all. So, great match between the two ladies. It wasn't bad and it wasn't the best, but you can see the improvement from Anna Jay. So I love it. It's still cooking. Anna Jay, if you're listening, you doing it. You on the right track. You on the right track, because I see the potential of greatness that Anna Jay can be as a female wrestler. Like I said, she has the look, she has the gear, she has the character. Her promos is getting a little bit better. I can give Jericho that kudos for that, because her promos before she got with Jazz, it wasn't that great. But after Jazz, you could tell, she's more confident. So I would give him that. But the in-ring part, it's getting there. It's getting there. So I won't be too hard on her because I respect her for wanting to keep trying. Okay. So shout out to the women business. Okay. Hold on, let me take my sip before we talk about this goat. Hold on, because I can't be coughing when we talking about him. Thank you. All right, so we know the time is coming. Sting's last match is Sunday. I know it's gonna hit me hard. 40 years of Sting, y'all. And it's finally coming to a close. And it's time for us to give him his flowers for real, for real. Like he's in the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. He's he was inducted in WWE Hall of Fame. But I just feel like with Sting, it's like I don't want to say it's like he's not overlooked, but in a way he is in a sense, and I'll get into it, okay? I say it all the time. Sting is one of the greatest baby faces in wrestling history. Not in just WCW, in wrestling history. He's definitely influential in modern day wrestling. You see a lot of Sting's impact in modern day wrestling. You see it in John Cena. You see it in Bianca Belair. You see it with Adam Page. You see it when Drew McIntyre had his babyface run. You see it kind of in Okada. You see Sting's impact. I don't care what promotion it is. When it comes to baby faces, I know people want to talk about Hulk Hogan is, he's the he's that person. Yes, Hulk Hogan, he is the reason why I'm, wrestling with mainstream. He put in, yeah, we get it. We get it. But as far as what to look for in a baby face, they always go to the handbook of Sting. And I'm going to tell you why they go to the handbook of Sting. John Cena, the way he did the Make-A-Wish Foundation, that right there was in the handbook of Sting. Because if you don't know, Sting was doing the Make-A-Wish Foundations the same way as y'all saw John Cena do it. Hulk Hogan, yeah, he did his charity work too. But the way that Sting has an impact as far as the Make-A-Wish Foundation with wrestlers, that is in the Sting's handbook when it comes to John Cena. John Cena have said it himself with the haircut and things like that. He ain't say nothing about no Hulk Hogan. They always say Sting. He says Sting. Stephanie McMahon, she is the one that, John Cena was her guy. But even Stephanie McMahon said when you see Sting, when you see John Cena, I think of Sting. Bianca Belair. When I see Bianca Belair, how she is, like her charisma, people call her the female John Cena. In a sense, yeah, but but that comes from the Sting's impact with the kids and always smiling and just the engagement with fans, the charisma. All of that is from the Sting's playbook. If you want to say Hulk Hogan, that's fine. But in modern day wrestling, all of that is Sting. His leadership, how the leadership is in the locker room, that is Sting. When people say that even though Roman Reigns is a heel and things like that, but the way that people talk about Roman Reigns' leadership in the locker room, that is in the playbook of Sting. You never hear a bad thing about Sting as far as his leadership. I want to say what wrestler was that? Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett said Sting is one of those guys. He'll go back there, look like, hey, everybody fuck up. Nobody's perfect. But if you do this, then it will all work out. Sting was one of those people, he will never talk down on a younger talent. He will make sure to give them advice. Sometimes it'll be straight shot and sometimes it'll be uplifting, but it was never to downplay nobody, to uplift nobody. That leadership sense is that shows who he is as a person, his character. A lot of our legends and a lot of people that we looked up to in the wrestling industry, they were bad people. But Sting is one of those people that wasn't a bad person. And he's one of the few from that time that wasn't a bad person. Yeah, he might have been a womanizer. Look at, he's a handsome guy. So, I mean, okay. But he never bullied nobody. He never selfishly, no, that doesn't work for me, brother. He didn't mind putting people over. He treated wrestling as a job. He wasn't toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like when I look at Adam Page, how Adam Page delivers his promos, that is a book from Sting. If you go back and look at Sting's promos when he was in WCW, especially Surfer Sting, Adam Page promos is Surfer Sting. That is Surfer Sting all the way. Not Crow Sting, definitely Surfer Sting. Because Surfer Sting, if you don't know, Surfer Sting was more about Jim Crockett. Like, I am Jim Crockett. I am Jim Crockett Promotions. I am WCW. The loyalty. When, people want, if you want to bring up the promo that Adam Page did against CM Punk, Sting did a similar type of promo during, like, when people were leaving to go to WWF at the time in the 80s. He did a similar type of promo like that, like, I am Jim Crockett Promotions. Just like when Adam Page talking about, I'm defending you against All Elite. I am All Elite. It's the same delivery in the same way. That comes from the playbook of Sting. The loyalty that Sting had with WCW is really not talked about enough. It's not. And I feel like because he has such loyalty to WCW, it's the reason why people feel like he doesn't have the same impact as The Undertaker and stuff like that, when actually he is better than a lot of those people. He's actually, in my opinion, is on the same caliber as Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. People, I don't know why, but I do know why. If Sting would have went to WWE around the time of the Invasion, people would take this last match and his retirement seriously. But because he didn't make that jump when everybody else did, because Sting has this loyalty to WCW, because he had that loyalty to Jim Crockett, they would treat this differently. That's why I'm on Twitter going so hard, because he deserves that same light as when it was Undertaker's last match and last reign and retirement, and Ric Flair and things like that. The reason why they treated Ric Flair's retirement like they did, because he did make that jump. They're not treating Sting's retirement this way, and everybody, because everybody should, is because he didn't make that jump during the invasion, because Sting was loyal. The loyalty. He was loyal to WCW through and through. Even after WCW was bought. And, you know, he almost went twice to WWE and it didn't happen. Because he was so loyal to anybody that was associated to WCW and Jim Crockett. But Sting, you know, he means a lot, and they take things from the Sting playbook. Even WWE takes the Sting playbook for their wrestlers. They did it with John Cena. John Cena's Sting deserved that take. I'm gonna tell listen, because they faced before Undertaker became Undertaker. You know, if you know your wrestling history before, you know, they had a match before. But y'all are kind of underestimating Sting's in-ring wrestling. Sting would have to carry Undertaker, okay? If you pay attention to Sting in-ring, especially during the 80s when he Surfer Sting, and even in the 90s, and then a little bit of TNA, Sting was a technician. Okay? Don't get it twisted. Just because, and I think y'all kind of get that confused sometimes because of the body paint, because of the face paint. But don't get it twisted. Sting could actually wrestle. He wasn't those, you know, the same maneuvers. He could actually wrestle. And it would have been a decent match. But I don't think it would have been what y'all think it would have been. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Undertaker's not, you know, Undertaker's probably one of the greatest WWF characters ever. I would give him that. But let's not act like Taker was an in-ring guy. Because Taker wasn't an in-ring guy. Sting was an in-ring guy. When you look at Adam Page, when I see Adam Page, I see 80s Surfer Sting. Go back and look at 80s Surfer Sting. You will see a lot. You could tell that Surfer Sting, Adam Page is influenced by him. You can see a little bit of John Cena. You can see even some females. You can see a little bit of Bianca Belair. You can see Chris Statlander. Surfer Sting, look at it. Yeah, everybody, that would have been iconic. It definitely would have. It's probably one of those, the greatest matches that never happened, along with Eddie Guerrero and Shawn Michaels. One of the greatest matches that should have happened and it didn't happen. Okay. But Sting deserves the same respect as Hulk Hogan, as Ric Flair. Because when you think of baby faces, they take straight out of Sting's playbook. Now, it's a little bit of here and there with different people, but as a pure baby face, shaking the kids' hands and the charisma, and the loyalty, the drive, it is straight out of the Sting's playbook. Out of the ring, in the ring. It is straight out of Sting. Reading to the kids. Doing the trick-or-treating and all of this other stuff. That is Sting. The Make-A-Wish foundations and the different charitable can't even say it. Sorry. Shoot. Hold on. Play the thing one more time. I gotta. See, I ain't nothing but the devil. Nothing but the devil, y'all. But yeah, the popularity outside the wrestling too. People forget how mainstream Sting was, even though he wasn't a WWE guy. People know about Sting outside of wrestling. He done featured in some wrestling videos. He done featured in commercials, music videos. It wasn't just the Attitude Era or Hulk Hogan. He was also in the media as well, especially with the women. Yeah, definitely a prototype. Definitely. He was unique. Because I know, especially with the Crow, when he did the Crow Sting, that was definitely, that's what set it off for him. Definitely set it off for him. He's part of the Cowboys franchise. Like, people know they do when he comes out, everybody knows Sting. But it's his last match, and I know he did the promo with Darby Allin. You know, he letting it known that his father passed away. It's a very vulnerable time for him. Today, I did not like what Kevin Nash said. I did not like that at all. And that just goes to show in wrestling, good people always come last. The good people always come last in wrestling. I don't care if you're a WWE guy. This ain't got nothing to do with companies. This is about Sting. And Sting has been there for everybody. He's been there for everybody. And everybody that he's been a friend to and been there for, they need to be there for him for multiple reasons. Not only is he going to be grieving and still grieving and coming in with a loss, but he's also putting the boots down. So to sit up there and be like, my bestie is this and this and this and this, like, who gives a fuck? This is not about him. And I'm pretty certain. I'm pretty sure Triple H probably wouldn't have cared if you went. It's about Sting at the end of the day. Like, Sting has been in the ring and shouted out Kevin Nash so many times. And I kind of hate that for him. I'm pretty sure, and the way that Sting is, he probably just like, that's fine. That's cool. No, it's not. That's not cool. That's not what friends do, if that's your friend. I got friends outside of here and also friends I made with this content. And two of them I'm really close with. They do not like AEW for nothing. But if I was to tell them, hey, I want you to be a guest on the show, they showing up. Because that's what friends do. They know that I'm a WWE casual. But if they need me for their stuff, I'm showing up. And I hate that for him because he don't deserve that. Sting is a great person in and out the ring. He means a lot to wrestling. He means a lot to what baby faces in wrestling means. I hate that, and I hate to say this, y'all, because y'all know how I feel about Ric Flair. Ric Flair signed a year contract with AEW for his friend Sting, just to be with Sting. I don't like Ric Flair, but that's what friends do. I'll give him that. I'm pretty sure he did not want to go over here. He did not want to go to AEW. But for Sting, okay. That's what friends is for. That's what friends do. That's what friendship is about. Now, Kevin Nash being there, he didn't even have to sit down and be in the audience. You could have been backstage, or they would have made a little press box for you. We done seen Bailey. Bailey won the Royal Rumble right before. No, she visit. She saw Mercedes. She been to Japan to see Mercedes match, support Mercedes. No, it wasn't in Japan. It was in Los Angeles for the New Japan tournament that she was in. And she still got the Royal Rumble win. Trinity as well. Like Trinity supported Mercedes. Like we done seen Finn Balor. Right. Bailey was at Trinity's last match at Impact. We done seen Finn Balor support Pac when Pac had met, for the international championship. And we, us content creators, we get on here to talk about people that is tribalism and stuff like that, but it doesn't, but we see wrestlers do it. That's why people do it. That's why the fans think it's okay to do it if the wrestlers are doing it. Kevin Nash is pushing 60 and still showing tribalism. Yeah, Ricky did go to WrestleMania for Cody. Yeah, of course he went. Of course he did that though. Of course. Right on brand. Right on brand. Who else supported somebody? But I don't like that. Sorry, y'all. I don't like that. I just didn't like that. Did not sit well. I'm just like, this man. It's like I said on Twitter. People. It's very unfortunate, but God has a way of showing you sometimes that people ain't really your people. And I hate that Sting is saying that he loving people more than they love him. So I hope, Kevin Nash probably, because Kevin Nash is not a bad person, but he's very at times. And I hope that he see what he did and what he said was kind of fucked up. Yep, Tamina did. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty certain they wasn't going to mess up your Legends contract, Kevin Nash, if you went to support Sting. Because a lot of them went to support Ric Flair's last match. So I hope the right people, and maybe this is God's way of showing Sting that you need to be surrounded by some real love. Every L ain't an L. I say that all the time. Undertaker was at Flair's last match. Charlotte Shaw was backstage for Andrade. She was. But I hope that people see, even with this situation, people see that not only do the good guys finish last, but sometimes you have to see who for you and who not, especially vulnerable times always reveal who's for you and who's not. And I'm not saying that Kevin Nash probably don't consider him as his friend and stuff like that, but it's just showing how much this person means to you. Right? You never know. People probably gonna text Triple H now. Look, I know I'm here, but Sting is my guy, and I'm gonna be here. And Tony Khan, being the nerd that he is, Tony Khan ain't gonna be on him. No, you can't come here. He's gonna be sure. Anything for you, Sting. Like anything for Sting. Like, yeah, this person can come. Yeah, this person can come. Sure. I don't have. Yeah, go ahead. Make sure they're taken care of. Make sure they sit here and get them whatever they want. Because it's about Sting at the end of the day. It has nothing to do with the situation or whatever they got, the billionaire thing that they got going on. At the end of the day, it is about Sting and Sting being sent off the right way. And AEW, I want to say, has done a phenomenal job with Sting. They have protected Sting with the wild bumps he has taken. And, he didn't expect to win a tag title. And he's probably going to go out the right way, which is a betrayal. Okay? Because that's Sting. That is Sting through and through. It's just, yeah, it was very disappointing for Nash to even say that. Because Sting, because this is how I look at it. With the TNA deal that happened, because when Sting contract ran out during TNA, and he almost went to WWE the first time, and he chose to stay in TNA. He's for you. You see what I'm saying? Like, Sting is loyal to his friends. Why can't y'all just show some sort of loyalty to him? But again, the good guys always finish last, and I hate that. But what I ain't gonna end it on that note. We're gonna watch Revolution. We're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna get my tweets off about Sting. We going to make this week about Sting because he deserves it. He's on that same caliber as Hulk Hogan, as Ric Flair, Macho Man, all of them. He is in that same caliber. And he deserves his flowers. He's still with us. He's one of the good guys. He's one of the good men. He is one of the good veterans. Nobody has a bad thing to say about Sting. Even the bad guys have great things to say about him. He's an icon. And again, one of the greatest baby faces in wrestling history. Everything is out of Sting's playbook. If you're not familiar with Surfer Sting, I promise you, when you see Surfer Sting and you do your investigation, you and YouTube, and you go through a loophole of Surfer Sting, because I would say look at the documentaries, but WWE do not do WCW guys documentary correctly because they want to make sure you view WCW as a scrub promotion. They wasn't. When you do your loophole when it comes to Sting, especially if you a kid and if you didn't have cable and you only had access to WWF, which I understand. A lot of people only had access to WWF, so they didn't get to watch WCW. And that's very unfortunate because WWE, when it comes to documentaries, to some of these guys that was in WCW, they do not do a great job. They want to make sure that they stay down here while their guys stay up here. When they make sure that they have their own revisionist history when it comes to WCW guys, because if you wasn't here during the invasion, they did a great job at making sure that WCW wrestlers, especially the top stars at that time, was treated like scrubs. Like, you had Diamond Dallas Page as a stalker over Sarah, the Diamond Dallas, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they had one of the top stars at WCW look like just straight out scrubs. Not Goldberg though. Goldberg was still Goldberg. I give them that, but because Vince McMahon always liked Goldberg, he always wanted a Goldberg anyway. But people like Diamond Dallas Page and Booker T and and I'm pretty certain that Sting saw that and he kind of knew that's what they was gonna do. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why he didn't do it. Because he knew what was going on. And you see, if he didn't make that transition around that time to Invasion, people will view this thing, retirement differently. But because, he didn't make that transition, you have people that's in content that kind of talk shit about Sting as if he wasn't him. Sting has always been him. Always been him. So if you're in content or you're interested in wanting to know more about Sting, yes, if you want to look at the documentary, go ahead. But don't take it as that's what it was, because I promise you it wasn't. Look at a lot of footages from Surfer Sting, and you will see a lot of modern day baby faces in Surfer Sting, from John Cena, like I said, from Bianca Belair, Adam Page, Drew McIntyre during the pandemic run. Roman Reigns a little bit in the way. Cody Rhodes a little bit. He tries. Just Okada. Darby Allin. A lot of people. Just look at when you see Surfer Sting, you're gonna see a lot of people that we admire as baby faces. You will see it. Okay, so me personally, I know I'm gonna be emotional. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna have tears. That is my Mick Foley. Thank you. Yes, he's one of the two. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have tears. This is my icon. He meant a lot. He's my top baby face. He's my top baby face. But I say he's one of the greatest baby faces because it was, different baby faces that did impact wrestling. But for modern day wrestling, like wrestling we see today, Ruthless Aggression era on up, straight out of the Sting playbook. That is straight out of the Sting playbook. Even in Lucha Libre, you see Sting's impact. He has impacted a lot of people. Back then, you saw people liked Hulk Hogan, but you ain't never seen no kids cut their hair like bald and stuff like that. But in the 80s, you saw kids with the Sting haircut. They had that buzz cut. They had that face paint. He impacted a lot of kids. You saw a lot. I ain't never seen no kid, hey, I want that bald in the middle like Hulk Hogan. I feel like Hulk Hogan was always bald. But you see him had that buzz cut like Sting though. And had the razor glass thing, and dressed in like a one of them Baywatch. Sting. So I just want to say he meant a lot to me. Um, Seeing my childhood heroes grow old and well, getting older and calling it quits, and it's just it's like a but at the same time it's sad, but at the same time we get to this point. I wish when I see different wrestlers age and they get to retire, it makes me think I wish Eddie Guerrero got this chance. I don't question God though, but I see things like this and I just wish Eddie Guerrero got that chance. When I saw Rey Mysterio get his Hall of Fame, I'm like, I just wish he was here. That's why I admire the people that I have that I favor now. Even though, yes, I had to demote myself from a Jericho fan. But I know when that time comes, because he's solely the reason why I'm a wrestling fan. And everything that, Jericho's way of wrestling is my type of wrestling. I truly know when that time comes, it will affect me. Even though, like I said, I had to renounce being a Jericho-holic because of the allegations and things like that, regardless if it's a rumor or not, it's still going to make me feel a certain way because y'all know that's that was my favorite since 96. So it just kind of makes you look at life, especially wrestling. You give these people their flowers while they're breathing. We lost, Bray Wyatt. And I always remember, we gave Bray Wyatt a hard time. And I was one of those too. I kind of gave him a hard time because I was just like, we need more than, with the LA Night match and stuff like that. But he wasn't a bad person. Sting is not a bad person. And he is the definition of what we want wrestling to be. And it's a shame that the wrestlers that are very toxic get that pedestal and people like Sting gets overlooked. So if we want, this thing to go through a clean state, everything that Sting represents is what we want in wrestling. And to see what he represents, he's retiring. I think that is a sign that the new leaders like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and Kenny Omega and Adam Page and Bryan Danielson, like, the millennial wrestlers that is transforming of what the locker room leadership is and eliminating that toxicity that is within the locker room. Sting is the forefront of that. That is the pioneer of what pure, innocent, non-toxic way of what we want wrestling to be. And that's the whole message of the Young Bucks versus Sting and Darby. Because Young Bucks is like, we're going to eliminate everything that Sting represents. Because Sting comes with that class, not Sting, but the class that came with Sting is very, very toxic. So we're eliminating that. But you have this man that's a diamond in that rough. Sting is a diamond in the rough. He is one of the ones, even though as toxic as that class was, he is one of the ones that stands out the most because who he is as a person. So I don't care if you favor WWE or if you favor TNA or if you favor New Japan, all of that, Sting represents what we want wrestling to be, and he deserves. Everybody should tune into Revolution. I don't care if you don't like AEW, but for Sting, we should all tune in to Revolution because Sting represents what we want wrestling to be from here on out. He is one of the forefathers of eliminating all of that. What did Undertaker say the other day? They need to bring back this and this and this. We ain't never heard Sting say nothing like that because Sting don't represent nothing like that. So he is the forefather of pure, fun, uplifting, positive of wrestling. So we gonna do it big for Sting. And I ain't trying to preach to y'all all day because I'm gonna start coughing in a little bit. And I don't want to start, I'll start crying and stuff like that, thinking about it because it ain't hit me yet, but I know it's gonna hit me Sunday. But just know, Sting, if you ever listen, I'm probably gonna clip it out so he can hear what I have to say. Thank you for the 40 years you have given us in wrestling. Thank you for not adding on to the toxicity that is within wrestling. Thank you for uplifting the younger generation. Thank you for passing the baton and wanting to pass the baton. Oh, y'all, I'm feeling it. Thank you so much for being a part of WCW, Jim Crockett Promotion. Thank you for joining AEW when you did. Even when you joined WWE when you did, you got your WrestleMania moment. Thank you for everything. And everybody that is a fan of Sting, y'all wear y'all shirts, y'all wear y'all merch, do whatever. He deserves it. Show him some love this week. We should all be positive to one another. I mean, the joke's gonna fly, but this week is about Sting and everything Sting. So before I get out of here, I just want to say Revolution is this Sunday. Make sure you tune in. I do apologize again if I kept coughing a lot on the show and y'all was probably like, dang, I don't want to hear that and stuff like that. I'm so sorry. Allergy season in Dallas is warming up and stuff like that. So I do apologize. I should be better by the next show when I do the Revolution recap. Also, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Thank you guys for, just being you. Like what you like. But this week is about Sting. AEW girlies, if y'all are traveling to North Carolina, everybody, y'all be safe. Y'all have fun. I wish I was there. I will be at an AEW pay-per-view. It will most likely be either All Out or Full Gear. That's my timing, y'all. My man coming to town, so I can't do it. So yes, so if you're on Twitter or whatever, just put down like your favorite Sting moments or put in the links. I know it's some like 2000 babies and also some babies that was born in like in the 2010s or in the 05s and stuff like that. You could tell like they didn't know too much about Sting and they didn't see what the big deal is and stuff like that. We need to educate these babies on Sting because Sting represents what we want in wrestling. He represents that, so he deserves that. Catch me here next Monday for the Revolution recap. We going up. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter because y'all know I'm gonna go up for Revolution. I will be on my dream. Okay, so make sure we going up on that. Continue to support everybody's. Thank you guys in the chat, my regulars in the chat. Thank you if you new and you tuning in. Again, I apologize for coughing a lot. This ain't me. Charge my allergies and not me. Okay, it'll be better next week, I promise. Thank you. You guys have a good night. Hit my getaway music, please.
First of all, there's no such thing as white-collar crime. And there's definitely no such thing as black-on-black crime. Crime is crime. Let me explain something to you. I don't care if you have a white collar or a tank top. If you rob me, I'm gonna whoop your ass.